I love that so much.
It's Skelly, the Ayatollah of rock and roll.
Love it.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's Mad Max
Nice.
stuff, so we got to.
That's right. That's it.
Right.
Thank you
That's
all
it.
for watching, and
Good episode, folks.
yeah. Holy crap, we're at episode 79, folks. How did we get here?
What? 79. 79.
79.
Wow. 79.
I'm really excited about tonight's episode because I know, well, I can just speak for myself, but I know these guys here pretty well now, and I know we're all kind of excited, but DREADNOKS and Mad Max were very important to me as a kid. Like they were just super important to me, and
Yes.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm determined to figure out why. There's something special in all that, and we're gonna do that tonight.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
We're gonna deep
No, I
dive.
mean it really does. It sounds cool because I know the reasons. Yeah, I got reasons.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out because, well, it's layered. There's a lot of layers.
Yes.
Well, tonight we have a battle ram report. We're going to be talking about Mad Max and DREADNOKS.
Yeah.
We've got what else do we have going on? Oh, we're going to switch things up on you all. So we're going to surprise you with the order of the way we do things. We're going to make Bobby talk more. It's going to be a blast.
We've got just a little
weightlifting.
At desk weightlifting that we're going to do. A little segment about how to stay fit at your desk while you work from home all day.
We're going to be on the freaking reels on Instagram now. Something's going to go bad while he's doing that.
And later on, there'll be some beauty tips on how to trim your beard.
That's right. Beauty tips.
You're supposed to trim it?
Clean the poop out of it.
Well, that's what I was
clean the bugs out of it.
That's true, though. I heard that. The men's beards are pretty dirty because
they can be.
They don't wash their hands or nothing, and then you sit there and they stroke it all the time. So people have tested.
Guys, you know dudes that don't wash their hands? Who doesn't wash their hands this day and age?
I'm not saying I don't know anybody, but I'm saying there are people out. Hey, there's people.
All right, guys, all you fellas out there listening, wash your hands.
And if you see some guy with food in his beard, that's not a snack for you. Don't eat it.
That is not a snack for you.
Do not eat out of somebody else's beard.
Or if a bird or a lizard comes poking out.
Wait, I'm not supposed to keep my lizards in here?
Yeah.
Or a sloth.
Yeah.
Or a sloth.
Yeah.
So Allison heard there was going to be punch and pie.
Oh.
And Aaron says we were having cookies. That might be my fault. I may have mentioned cookies.
What? I'm confused.
What?
I'm confused.
I wasn't given cookies, punch or pie.
I was talking to Aaron before we went live, so maybe I mentioned cookies. Just forgot.
Oh, okay.
Well, we were talking about
some pop. No water today. Got pop.
We were talking about corn before we got started tonight. The band,
not the food. Yeah,
not the food. The band, and we didn't get into Limp Bizkit, but that would have been a good way to segue into. Yeah, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Nah.
No reason to.
Fred Durst is left back in '99.
Is Fred Durst? Are they still doing their thing, Limp Bizkit?
You mean, are they still limping? Probably.
Are they still doing music?
I have no idea. I did not care for them when they came out. The most pop Limp Bizkit got from me was when Undertaker, for that short time, was using them for his entrance music before he did the American Badass. Yeah.
I agree with Aaron. We'll stop there.
Too.
Honestly, I think we've mentioned the name too much now.
Fart in the wind.
Durst might actually appear because I think we possibly have summoned him like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Fred, if you're out there, just message me and I'll give you the StreamYard link.
No, don't you dare. Tell him to stay in his hole. We don't want him. Wes Borland, on the other hand, that might be kind of cool.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a funky day. All right.
So, guys, how are you doing?
Here we
Okay.
like you don't know.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Really?
Yeah, I think because it was like I couldn't hear what you said. What did you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. No, forget it. It's over with now, so it doesn't.
Dang.
We missed it. We missed
I
it.
hate it when Bobby's laughing and talking at the same time. I really want to hear what he has to say.
No, what I said is that you like paused because you like screwed yourself up because you forgot that we're changing things up and you didn't.
I know. I don't know what
next.
to do. I don't know what to do anymore.
You're so used to doing the same thing all the time. Now you're like,
all right, here we go. We're gonna
what are
try
we
something
supposed to
different.
do?
We're
Yeah.
gonna try something different now. All right, what do you guys got coming up? Anything exciting on the agenda for you fellas?
I heard there's this pretty cool thing called Merman March going around.
What?
Yeah. So basically, people are posting a bunch of merman content this month with the hashtag Merman March. Yes.
What's behind that idea? Because of the new figures that were announced, or?
Well, we have this wonderful person in the chat here, Allison Troy, the retro toy princess. Merman Mania, Merman March. These are your hashtag, folks. If you got some merman content to post, get it out there with these hashtags. We want to see it plastered all over the place.
Okay. I love that. That's great. I love that. And we can
make a whole.
We can even move it. We can
with the different versions of Merman.
Yeah.
What was Merman's? Wait, here we got something really good now. Adam, I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm going to ask you first. What was Merman's first name?
Oh, in what? In like the classics bios?
I don't know if it was in the classics bios or if it was a prototype name or what, but wasn't it Aquatico or something?
I think that's the French name, Aquatico. He was Seaman at one point.
Okay,
yeah.
forgetting Seaman. Well, we've got Merman March, and then we've got Aquatico April, and back to Merman May. We got 3 months of Merman, folks. 3 months.
Allison's been throwing them out here too. Like, look, Aquaman is a merman. Now, of course, for us, we're mostly centering on our wonderful merman from Masters of the Universe. And Namor, he is a merman. But yeah, there are many mermen. Be creative with it. There are many seamen out there. And we want to see
characters are bunk.
Look. We want to see Instagram covered in seaman. Wait, what?
Well, I'm sure you'll see it on other people's individual phones.
You scared Skelly away. He didn't want to see it.
Uh-oh, that happened.
Come on, you bastard, stay here.
I think here's what I want to see. I want to see folks make pictures, do some toy photos of Merman battling it out with
seaweed.
Shipwreck.
Oh, there you go.
Shipwreck's always been one of my favorite G.I. Joes. I love Shipwreck.
Yeah.
So everybody's got to get all their merman toys and head over to Lawrence's house with his entire navy. And for those of you who don't know, Lawrence is a punk with toys. Go head on over to Lawrence's house and battle and engage the 900 shipwrecks his father got with him to man his.
That's phenomenal.
If you guys have not heard that story, Lawrence loves to tell how his father loved him so much. He got him a USS Flag back in the day. And when he did, he got him a whole navy to crew it. So he got like 9 shipwrecks.
Wow.
That's cool.
This is the only Navy guy.
That's
only
awesome.
openly Navy, right?
Well, let's say hello to everybody that's in the chat, and then we'll get back to what we have on our agenda. I'm getting back on track here, folks. Getting back on track. All right, so let's say hello to the people that are in the chat, Oz. I know you're the master of
I got to
this.
start over here. Allison was here first saying, "This ain't no disco." And Duchess followed it up with, "This ain't no country club either." Ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
And we got Payne's toy sample saying, "Okay, I'm here, and tardiness has not abated. Never does. Never does. We're always late." Ronald Embry. We got Cobweb Collector hanging out saying, "Hello, peoples." JMax77 saying, "Hey, bud, let's party." And we've got Rolando Flores, Hyperdelic. Alf Inflict is here saying hello to all the Frenzynauts, as it is.
John.
Figuratively speaking, John is in the house, as well as
Eldor.
Master Versal Toy Hunter. Eldor is here with us. And let me take a quick scroll down, see if I missed anybody here. I don't believe. We got All Music Fan is joined in now. Good to see you, brother. Glad to have you here. Oh, you know what? I like this. Hyperdelic is called Eldor. Eldorino. I kind of dig that.
Real an update from last week's episode. Everybody, all 4 participants in the Eternia Land contest. As of today, you've all received tracking numbers in your IG messaging systems.
Oh, excellent.
So your prizes have been shipped out to you. That includes Eldor. There's a little something going all the way out to Eternia.
Wow.
Eric, great to see you here.
Eric Perryman is joined in.
I just a quick recap. I went through all the entries again yesterday just to walk down memory lane, and I was just blown away again. I mean,
they were all great.
Amazing stuff. I think Eldor, you should scan your mini Eternia Land, and I don't know if you have the technology to do it. Find somebody with a 3D printer, get those printed out. Get those Eternia Lands printed out. Small enough, go on your desk, right?
Right, little mini Eternia Land. Yeah.
Very cool. Such talent in this group. It's astounding. It is astounding. All right, now let's get back on track. What are we doing?
Well, we were talking about what we all have coming up, and I just exploded. The semen exploded all over the place, and we got off track. So,
oh, you said that word again, and he disappears.
It's incredible.
I'm like I immediately I disappear into my shell when that's. Anyways, moving on.
Oh man, we're going nowhere fast.
That's right.
Where are you going?
Well, someone take control then. All right, we've got what's going on. What's coming up for you guys?
Again.
All right. So I've got an article coming out that everybody on this broadcast gets a preview of tonight.
Nice.
So you will see it before anybody else, or at least the preview.
That's part of the Battle Ram report, right?
That's the Battle Ram report.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I was getting the slides ready for that. I was so stoked. And great images too. This is going to be a good one.
Yep. Looking forward to that.
I have news for you, Bobby.
Uh-oh.
You ready for this?
Sure. I'm waiting.
I'm going to be recording.
Wait. Don't. No, okay, go ahead. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm going to.
Did I really throw you off by that? I'm sorry.
No, I'm also reading Allison's comment too.
Oh.
All right. What was I doing? What was I saying? Oh yeah.
Got some news for Bobby.
I'm going to be recording something tomorrow for you, Bobby.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
I wait for that. Yeah.
I'm
waiting for that. Yeah, it's amazing. Last week I said I had nothing. I couldn't get anything started. And as of today, I have your story written, and you're already going to record it. The thumbnails already done and all that. I have
Nice.
case number 2 started. I got parts 1 and 2 written. The thumbnails done for those. I have 2 universe stories other than yours started. I got case 3, part 3 and 4 thumbnails done with ideas of those stories as well. I also started part 3, writing part 3. And it gets crazy. I already got case number 3 and case number 4 ideas started.
This is
Nice.
amazing. After a dry spell,
Yes.
sometimes it just like everything just the dam breaks open and it all comes out, right? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, because I'm going to be recording case number 2, part 1 this weekend as well. So, but
Awesome.
your universe story has to come out first. So, because
I'll take
it
my
has
time.
the characters in the past cases mentioned briefly, but it sets up all the stuff that goes forward from now on.
Fantastic.
So it's a big character in a way.
Oh,
Dude, that's exciting.
I read through what you sent me a couple of times, and I'm already hearing it, so I'm really excited.
Cool. Yeah, so I've been extremely busy with that the past week. All that shit done in 1 week. I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Yeah, that's because
So I'm ahead of the game now on this one. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, and do you know? I mean, let me just. The universe stories are part of the Decker cases, but they have nothing to do with the main storyline. There are other characters that are part of the world that may or may not affect what's happening around, or are just briefly mentioned, and they'll also be narrated by other narrators, not myself, to give it a different feel. So Duchess did the first one, which was Tombstone.
Yeah. Yep.
That had characters that were, briefly mentioned in episode or part 6 of last case. Yours is mentioned in a few, and then I got Duchess is going to do another one. Cork is doing another one, and then Oz, I'm going to have you do one for case 3, if that's okay. If you want to do that.
Totally. No.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'd be happy to help. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. I love it. I love that you're back in the saddle.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
I'm very happy about it so far.
Yeah.
You were apologizing this weekend when you were posting stuff in the Patreon chat.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, do not apologize for this shit.
Yeah.
No, keep it coming. We want more.
Well, I didn't want to like sound like I was spamming, or stuff like that.
God,
Hey, this
no.
is cool. Maybe these guys will like this or something. But yeah.
No, we
love
all
that,
like
brother.
that. Any news on creative projects, I just love. When I tune into the Patreon chat or the Frenzy chat and see what the Toy Network chat, I'm always like impressed when I see that people are not just talking about toys, they're talking about projects. I love that. Like, because
Right.
toys only go so far, and toys can be kind of disappointing talk sometimes. But if you're talking about, if you're spreading the word about something that you're making, like, that's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Right.
Right. At least from my perspective, I love that. I love that kind of conversation, and it's never spamming in our groups.
Right. When you're creating, you're bringing something new into the world. Like, we get toy news, right? But like, realistically, right now, most of what we're collecting is stuff that's already been out before. In a lot of ways. So
in some
they may reinvent it a little bit, but I like it when people are creating something completely new and bringing it. And so any kind of new creativity is great, and that's what a lot of people are doing right now. There's a lot of creating new. Speaking of which, I do want to plug this real quick. If you guys haven't heard or seen, Mad Hatter, when he got screwed over for Wondar way back in the day, he jokingly created this character, Flipper Frank. Okay. And kind of like showed it off. And right now he's been in talks with Ace over Ramen Toy and got in touch with some people. And the Flipboard Kickstarter is not only well underway, it's either almost completely backed or it's fully backed at this point.
Oh wow!
Of course, you could still sign up for the Kickstarter. Like you can still go in and get this. So if you guys want a Flipboard action figure that is completely compatible with your Motu Origins collection or in your vintage collections too, although it wasn't part of the vintage line, you can definitely still go back that Kickstarter. And I think it's incredible because, again, it's something, just completely new. And I remember watching when he was so torn up about not being able to get Wondar, and he was joking about all the flippers out there, and he was like, and I just drew this character, and now it's like an actual project. Like, it's coming to life. That's outstanding.
Nice.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, I love stuff like that too. I'm glad that he's pushed it this far, and making it happen. That's great.
Yeah, it's coming out. Like, it's happening, and I think that's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, here we go.
It's going to add to
Eldor with the update.
Cool.
Indeed, wow. Flipboard has backed over the 100K now, which is
wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
That's a great character to add to the toy photography arsenal, right? That's going to be. I can't wait to see those pictures.
He's going to come in and steal all of our world's smallest action figures, Skelly. We better not. We better keep him out of our collections. He's going to come in and take our He-Man or our Skeletors and go flip them all.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because I was just thinking like, Bobby, you should think about getting some people on board to draw your characters that you've been coming up with. And it'd be great to see, what those might look like in action figure form, get some 3D renders going. And that would be cool, because which company is coming out with the Dick Tracy figures?
Mezco.
Mezco's coming out with those Dick Tracy figures, and you could do. I mean, your characters are fantastic, and with the monsters involved too, like there's so much potential there.
Heck yeah!
I mean, that's a dream, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I would love that. It would be great. I really would. But we'll see where it goes.
If anybody wants to,
I can't think about turning my characters into toys right now. I'd probably put something on a T-shirt, maybe sell one. So I gotta.
Right.
I'll have to wait for a while.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
T-shirts would be good too.
Yeah.
I'd be down for T-shirts.
Speaking of T-shirts, do we still have that Toy Frenzy? Yeah, we got to plug that too.
Yeah, everybody.
They don't talk about it. Yeah,
we never talk about it, and we've only sold a few. But there's a shop down there where you can get Toy Frenzy mugs, you can get Toy Frenzy T-shirts, Toy Frenzy sweaters, and they even
you can't get Toy Frenzy bootleg cups though.
You cannot get Toy Frenzy bootleg cups, but you can make your own by buying the stickers. And there's all kinds of cool stuff down there. So, not that you have to, but, you'll be the coolest kid in class. Just saying.
Just saying.
But definitely go pick up some sweet Toy Frenzy merch from the merch store. And we always have our Patreons as well. If you're in a position to be able to help out the show a little bit more, you can sign up for either myself, Bobby, Skelly, Adam. We all have Patreons, and all of that just goes right back into the channel, goes back into the show, and helps us pay for things like the StreamYard, Canva, all the other tools, getting more merch, because, who doesn't like merch? Everybody loves merch.
And if you can't, and you go on, and if you only have a little bit, go to Adam's website, and he has the St. Jude on there where you can donate for that.
For sure.
A good cause.
Yeah.
St. Jude's is one of the most amazing causes. If you're not familiar, they completely do. If you have a sick child, sick with cancer, you take them to St. Jude's, and everything is completely taken care of by St. Jude's. Parents don't have to pay a dime, nothing, because it's all done through the donations that go to St. Jude's. And it's an amazing, absolutely amazing charity.
Yeah, help the kids have a little bit of happiness in their life.
That's right.
Yeah. If you want to get emotionally destroyed, you go through the stories that they put on their website.
Oh, yeah.
That's
rough.
Yeah.
When I was GameStop store manager, one of the big promotional charities that we did every year was always St. Jude's, and they used to come in and do like a whole presentation talking about that. And you see a lot of what these families are going through, and of course, it's always really tough to hear. But to see the strides that they make with all the research that they do, and helping these kids it's really, really an amazing thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, look at that. Check that stuff out. Go over to Adam's page and his Patreon and look at that. And but also just being here too is gift enough. We love having you all here.
Liking and sharing.
Yeah. And let folks know about the frenzy. If you have friends that are into it, spread the word a little bit.
Yeah, let's help this channel grow a little bit more. I would like to see that.
Yeah, I'd like to see the family grow. The Toy Frenzy Army. I don't know.
Frenzied.
Frenzied. Thank you. Yeah, the Frenzynauts. Man, I'm having a day. So,
and if they can't watch live, they can always watch the replay. It's always there.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, speaking about what else is coming out this weekend on the Clubhouse, we're gonna have a rave. I'm just gonna announce it now. We got a theme going on this weekend. I've been joking about it this week because I got 2 very cool figures coming on their way that will actually be here tomorrow. If everything shows up on time, we'll be here tomorrow. But we're having a glow-in-the-dark special on the Clubhouse this weekend. Oh, yeah. Yeah, got some really good glow-in-the-dark stuff coming that guys here would like. Should I say it? Whatever, I'll just say it because people know. So this past week, I bought a Boo Berry from Hello Dope Toys.
Yeah!
Friends over there. So I got Boo Berry coming this week because I'm getting ready to put together. As you can see, I redid the whole room, flipped everything around, and once I get all of this cleared off, the glow-in-the-dark shelf's finally going to be a thing. There's going to be glow-in-the-dark Ghostbusters on here. They're going to be busting Boo Berry. They're going to be busting Blue Hagnon, another cool glow-in-the-dark figure that should be here soon. We're going to be busting the Headless Horseman. We're going to have all kinds of glow-in-the-dark stuff there. So there's going to be a rave going on this weekend in the Clubhouse. We're doing a whole glow-in-the-dark theme.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you got some glow-in-the-dark stuff to show off, come on out and hang out.
I went to a rave once in the 90s, and
was it in a
burned
cornfield?
in my brain. Burned in my brain.
Really?
Yeah. We'll stop there.
I was gonna say maybe that's why he
still burning all the time.
Yeah, he keeps thinking about that night.
It's still burning to this day.
I'm gonna tell you all, this is my problem. We change things, and I'm trying to think what comes next. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh wait, what are we excited about? We got to do that too. Or did we already talk about
sorry,
that?
man. I should have mentioned that we should change.
No, I love it. I'll get better.
Yeah.
I'll get better. What are you guys excited about that's coming up?
I'm going to make a Post-it with bullet points for Skelly, like the order the show goes.
Yeah, a grandpa Post-it.
There we go. Let's do it. Well, I mean, I kind of just said what I was excited about. I got some really cool glow-in-the-dark shiznit coming. I was trying to censor myself there. Are you proud of me?
Mm-hmm. I would have had to leave the room again.
I wasn't saying the other one.
He's got
the Men of the Sea. I wasn't talking about them anymore. I could have said I was excited about the Men of the Sea all over Instagram, but
yeah, go ahead, Adam.
So I posted this week. I got a good deal on this guy,
nice.
Ninjor. I've been wanting him for a while, even though like as a character, I've never been that into him. I think the classics version is very cool.
Classics version was definitely better. Like,
yeah.
Well, honestly, even the vintage was better too.
Yeah. And he came with the belt too, which I wanted for Jitsu. So
Oh, nice.
Oh
gave
yeah,
Jitsu his 2000X style belt.
nice.
So I got my martial arts guys covered here.
Nice.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the vintage Ninjor was a big step up too, I think, over what we got with Origins. I mean, the Origins with the the permanently sculpted mask, it's nice and everything like that, but I like the fact that the old one, you could take that off. Like it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They should have done this with just 2 heads, like mask
right.
and
Yeah.
unmask.
Make it a deluxe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my vintage Ninjor. I love it because it's complete. A lot of people don't get it complete
It's
anymore.
tough
so-
to get that
Yeah.
complete, especially for the mask part. A lot of people are missing the
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's in real good shape too. I don't mean to boast by it, but like I said,
It's boast worthy.
I spent a lot of time, collecting that over the years. So it's
Yeah. It's tough because the cloth gets ratty after
Mhm.
years of getting played with. So
yeah. Well, I'm excited about the clocks changing this weekend. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, that's
Wait,
this weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah,
the worst change.
Yeah, because I lived in Arizona for so long now.
I was going to say, for you, that's something.
Well, they don't change clocks down there.
Yeah.
So this is since I've been here, this will be my third time changing clocks now. Yeah,
Wow.
2 springs and 1 fall.
I prefer the fall back over the spring forward.
Everybody
For
does.
some reason, the
Extra
spring
hour to
forward.
sleep.
Yeah, spring forward just throws me off a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also excited about the since we're talking Dreadnoks. The only figure I'll probably buy this year would be Torch.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm not really excited about anything this week, I don't think. I'll tell you what I'm going through right now is like
Beastman stuff.
Yeah, I mean I'm like still riding that wave. I've got Beastman right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I get them out of that case like I've gotten them out like every other day. I just can't keep my hands off of this guy. And then the Eternia playset's just super cool. I feel like no, wait. Sorry. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you forgot.
I was just about to do. I was going to say,
shake out his
the same
thing.
Whoa. Hey, yeah. If you shake it more than 3 times,
I'm pretend I didn't hear that. So a friend of the channel, Aaron Davies, the one who won the Eternia Land contest last week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Origin Spikor.
I finally got the Origin Spikor, and he's absolutely amazing. Like he's basically the vintage figure, but without the action feature.
Yeah.
But
it's all right though.
He's great. I love him.
Yeah.
Is he? Are the spikes gummy like the original?
Yeah. They're a little bit. They're. Sorry, let me get the original down.
No slime pit for him.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's not. The spikes are not as gummy as the original, but look at this. They're basically the same figure.
Oh, they look good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is really cool. So Aaron, thank you so much for sending this my way. So I've been kind of just riding that wave, like, I don't know. I don't know where to go from here as a toy collector.
Right. I mean, you mentioned that last week, and you mentioned that since I got Trapjaw, I felt,
Yeah.
Well, I was retiring anyway from it, but
yeah,
I feel like you were saying, it didn't hit me until you mentioned it. That you know what, this one is. I mean, I got my big Hellboy,
Yeah.
and then I got that big Trapjaw. I have all the vintage He-Man stuff. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good. I don't have to think about new stuff anymore, really.
I'm really excited about the new Eternia Merman, the new Eternia Masterverse Merman. I'm definitely.
When that finally hits.
I even canceled my new Eternia Masterverse Triclops. I was just.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I'm just, I don't. I just feel satiated is the best way. Like you know, as a toy collector, I think as toy collectors, you're thirsty for something more, something new, something interesting, something to push that nostalgia button. And I just feel like I feel really like blessed is really kind of how I feel. And that's all thanks to the patrons of this show and of our channels and of our projects and the people who tune in to watch. And I'm like looking for things to talk about, and I'm like, everything's right here. It's like, it's cool.
It feels peaceful, doesn't it?
It does. It feels peaceful. Thanks to Mondo, we can finally put our hunger to rest.
Adam's like, I still got to get all those classics down.
I know. Yeah, I'll be working on that for several years to come.
But at least you got a plan, though. That's
that's a good plan.
Rushing. You don't have that itch like I got to get 10 of them this month because I need it.
It's nice not to have a schedule to it. Like, I know nothing is going on sale next month that I need to prep for. But where I get hit sometimes is if I'm watching eBay auctions, just like I've got email alerts. Yeah. And if something like, that's how Ninja, I wasn't planning on getting him, but like he was way cheaper than usual, so I got him. Yeah. But then I got to do
the problem with watching on eBay. You know, you get that, damn, I'll never see that price again, thing. Or
hit you with the FOMO.
Or you hit the watch and then you get someone that'll send you like a discount. You're like, damn it, I didn't want you to send me a discount yet because that's going to run out in 48 hours. I'm not going to buy this in 48 hours, so.
Yeah.
Well, can I grab one more thing that I'm excited about? Because what? I opened it up this past weekend.
No, this segment's over with. Let's move on.
I'll be right back.
Sure. Semen. Oh, come on, man. See, that's sensitive. I'm going to put him back in. It went with the song. I'm sorry.
No, I get it.
So why do you not like that word?
Why
does it bother you so much?
It makes me feel creepy.
Really?
But I love Shipwreck. So there you go.
So you don't like real semen, or you don't like the substance? I can't even ask a straight question.
Does that mean like 6 more weeks of winter?
Yeah, right.
You know what? I'm really thrown off tonight. I'm totally thrown off tonight. Yeah, it's
It's because I flipped my room around. It's a different
everything.
That's what it is.
I'm loving that.
All flipped there.
I'm loving that. By the way. Okay, so a new episode of Cambridge and Washawn is out. Everyone should go listen. We're talking about Planet of the Apes and Devo. It's a lot of fun. Go listen to that wherever you find your podcast. Yes. I'm going to be continuing to work on Snake Mountain this weekend. I'm really excited about that. Last weekend was like house cleaning weekend, like where we just, deep spring cleaning, and it takes a lot. And but you
bring up Mego Planet of the Apes stuff, like Mego stuff, or
we talk about Mego, definitely. Okay. Yeah,
I have all those.
I can't talk about Planet of the Apes without Mego.
Yeah. I have a Mego Cornelius. I don't have any of the others, but we talk as much about Planet of the Apes as possible. And the movies too.
But I have them all, and they're all complete and perfect condition.
That's amazing. That's great. I mean, that's like this.
I know. I hate to sound like that, but
No, but that's a good reason to brag.
Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing though. When I was on Twitter and I posted that photo I took of all my Planet of the Apes, the guy who created what's his name? That funny superhero that what's his name does? Deadpool. The guy who created Deadpool. Yeah, he shared that.
Oh, cool.
Oh, awesome.
That's great.
Awesome.
Rob Liefeld.
So
is that his name? Is that right?
Which one?
Yeah,
Rob Liefeld. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of a shocker.
So
matter. Who cares?
It's great, man. That's totally
It doesn't
amazing.
you all know I started.
It does.
But I don't know. I don't want to
Anyways,
sound like I'm boasting, like, oh my God, this, like some people get all crazy shit about that.
it matters. It matters. It's amazing.
I've
I love
even
it.
had because I never tag anybody, but I had Mark Hamill like a few things as well too. But I don't like to post about that shit either.
I had that happen once.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's a cool feeling. Like, holy shit, is that real? You're like, oh, that is really him. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Oz. What'd you pull from the cave?
Well, ever since I started collecting Mythic Legions and stuff, a little over a year ago, there's certain figures that just like captured my eye. And everybody knows that I love creatures, critters, and everything like that. And reptiles are my absolute favorite. So earlier this year, well, actually last year at PowerCon, managed to grab this guy pretty early. This is a big beefy boy, Scourge, right? It's part of a 2-pack. He's going to be shipping soon, finally, and other people will finally get him. But since then, they've also had just recently the Poxus wave come out, and that was the first time anybody got to see this style character in blue.
Chicken Poxus.
Nice.
So we got Arakagor in the blue, and then we've got the Scourge Whiplash homage.
He is beautiful.
Yeah, I like.
Blue, and he gets that. Right. All right, he gets a real deep blue, almost purple going down his back and everything along the spine.
That's amazing.
One of the most gorgeous pieces in my collection right now.
Yeah, that's a beautiful.
Absolutely love.
It's awesome.
All the detail on this guy. He's
fantastic.
His
jaw open and close.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, his does a better job than Scourge's does. Scourge, a little loose.
No, that's good. Can we see them together? Bring them right up to the front.
Yeah. Let me back the light up a little bit so you get some good light on them.
You know what? That would make a great glow in the dark figure too.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Well, if I had a bunch of extra money, I'd probably buy one that I could do customs with. But these guys, they tend to be a little pricey. Actually, they've got the larger body buck on one of their other Cosmic Legions figures because these guys are ogre scale. And somebody was 3D printing the heads, and they did a custom paint job on that to make a reddish orange one, which had me thinking I had the green. I knew the blue was coming out. Get a reddish orange one for like fire and do like elemental dragons. I kind of want to do that. But these guys are pricey though. I actually lucked out. Corey from Make Shape Create met up with him this past weekend. And we went to Eternia Dream over in where was it? Westminster. Went over there and they were doing 20% off everything in the store. So yes, I paid retail price for it, which is a little bit more than what you can do when you buy them direct from the Four Horsemen. I got it for 20% off, and I didn't have to pay shipping because I just picked them up in store.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that was a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
that's a good feeling. And that's a beautiful figure. That is a beautiful figure.
It is. Yeah, that blue's awesome. I love the color.
Love this. Yeah. And like I said, it looks a lot more blue with the light on it for the dark blues in the back, but it's also very purple too, which we all know that's one of my favorite colors. And really helps the other blues stand out because it's that more indigo look to it. I actually like the color scheme on him more than I like the green one, and green's my favorite damn color. So
can we see him next to the Slimer that you just got?
Yeah, sure.
I want to see get some green and blue color action going on.
All right, here we go.
That's so good.
It's funny how much smaller. You know what though? Slimer's got a penchant for mooning. Cheeky. Got a wart on his butt too.
Spud butt.
Spud butt. Hashtag spud butt, people.
I gotta get that Slimer. That Slimer's amazing.
You know what? The only part that bums me out about it
bums me out
about it. It's supposed to make sounds too. It's supposed to be electronic, make sounds, but the one that I got, the batteries are dead. So I got to crack it open and get some fresh batteries in here. And I love having this little Slimer. Like, I thought he was going to be a bit bigger than this. I didn't quite realize the scale until Corey sent me the picture with it in hand. And, having met Corey, I know his hand's about the same size as mine. So I realized just how small he was.
It's still a good size figure.
It's a good size toy. It's definitely a good size toy. I thought it was just going to be a little bit bigger than that, but I like it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say he'll look great next to Beastman.
Yes.
I was to say you should get another one. You should get another one, paint it brown, and you have like a big pile of screaming shit, and you can call it Shitter instead of Slimer.
Done. Oh, come on. We didn't even bring up semen.
I know. Jesus.
All right. Moving on.
Eric did have a question here. He was asking about how I got the tail on. So you will notice the tail, it's like a hook. And so you kind of got to loop it in under, and there you go. Just goes around the post in the middle of the waist.
Yeah, I love
it. And now his tail's on.
Yeah, that's cool.
So makes it a little bit easier than popping the whole figure apart. But yeah, that's it, really.
Cool.
That's not exactly as secure as I had it on there before now, but I'll touch it up later. So I want to give a big shout out. We had Eternium Royalty Mike come in and Kenzo also jump in a little late here. Good to see you guys. Thank you for being able to make it.
Great to see you.
And Mike had an interesting story about Spikor, by the way. So he said when he was at San Diego Comic-Con talking to a Mattel employee, apparently they requested vac metal for the Trident, like the vintage, but got turned down by the factory.
Wow. Interesting.
What a shame that is. So, look, see, I started showing off
for vac metal.
Started showing off some Mythic Legions, and Joe stopped in. I was just showing off Arakagor, Joe. You missed him.
How's it going, Joe?
You might have saw the tail end of it.
Oh,
man, they all can't be funny. I'm sorry.
My puns are not funny at all. Your puns are always funny. I don't know how that. You're just better at it. You're really good at it.
I am incredibly punny.
All right,
yes, I got a snort laugh. Yes.
Yeah. It was more like a nasal grunt.
Oh, let's jump in.
All right.
I'm excited because we've not spent a lot of time talking about G.I. Joe.
Shrinkage.
I don't think we have ever talked about G.I. Joe, have we?
I think they've just come up in conversation only, really
here and
talking about Dreadnoks, I think, mainly.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all we love anyway.
Right. Out of the people on screen here, we all love the Dreadnoks more than any of the other Joe factions. So,
yeah, for sure. There's something special about them.
There is.
And so
we're gonna get to the bottom of
that. I have these slides set up here to talk about the Dreadnoks, and I'm thinking now I probably should have done like Dreadnoks, Mad Max, Dreadnoks, Mad Max type of slideshow, but I just got a bunch of Dreadnoks pictures up front and then Mad Max slides at the end. But because it's good to compare. It's like there are very significant Mad Max, post-apocalyptic, 80s, end of the world movies references in the Dreadnoks action figures.
Yeah.
Who's the guy with the white hair? Like the black shoulder armor?
That's Road Pig, right? Road Pig.
Oh, Road Pig. That's right.
Yeah.
Road Pig is
beefier.
He is certainly
very Mad Max.
Very Mad Max.
Yeah, the football shoulder pads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, quick question, guys.
Yes.
Who's your favorite Dreadnok? If you had to pick one.
I would. Oh, that's tough. I have two that are special to me, but I would have to say Torch, because that was the first one I ever got. Yep.
Torch is over there on the right.
Yep.
Yep. These were the three that I had.
Yeah, I have those. Yeah.
These were the three that I had as a kid, and I was just super fascinated by them. I think a toy with a tattoo. This was the first time experiencing something like that. Very cool.
Yeah, because Ripper, the other one, that's the one I got as a grab bag for holiday in my grade school when I got that one from a girl. Yeah. And Buzzer's okay. The vintage one, he's kind of like I don't know, he kind of, his skin, his jacket, and his hair and everything kind of like blends together too much.
Yeah, I agree. I was always attracted to the other two, not Buzzer so much.
Right.
Because there's an element of danger with these guys. Like they just feel a little more rough around the edges, a little scarier, maybe.
Yeah, they're tough. Yeah, they're tougher. I mean, you don't have toys like that back then until these guys came around. It's like really cool, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of like Road Warrior, like I was back then, you crave stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then you can change them out of G.I. Joe, pretend that they're part of Mad Max or whatever. That's cool.
Yeah. So back to who's your favorite?
So I had, I know I had Monkey Wrench. I don't. Do we count? I think we count like Xandar and Zarana too. They're
I have.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yep.
I had those two as well, and I love the color change feature. I think Zarana was probably my favorite of those two. But what I really wanted, which I never had, was Zartan. He was he was such an awesome figure, and I love the mask and the color change feature.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's, Zartan was always definitely like top, but honestly, my most favorite if you look at the core group of Dreadnoks,
right there,
actually Buzzer was the one that I liked the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
And part of that was just like, the other two guys were kind of dumb. Like, they weren't very intelligent. They were definitely like brutes. Buzzer was intelligent. He was very psychotic. And go ahead, Bobby.
No, I was to say I have those that style of figures too. That's the ones I was talking to you earlier about. Those, that versions. Yeah.
The anniversary versions.
Yes.
25th. God, they look good. But
I remember when those were. I remember when those were on the shelves. And I was like, "Oh wow, this is cool. They're coming back." You know.
Mm-hmm.
Killing myself now for not picking them up.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I had other ones too, but I sold them. I had Zarana, I had Xandar, I had Zanzibar, and all those. I got rid of those. I just kept the core guys.
But I'm also a big fan of Nagahide. But if anybody,
are you?
Well, because he comes with the pet. Like Pork Belly is pig.
Yeah.
I was just always a fan of these. And honestly, this classified one that's coming up, I love the fact you get this little monkey, you get Zaboo and you get Pork Belly. They look great. I kind of dig the accessories too with the extra machete. Like, honestly, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. The anarchy tattoo on the shoulder. Like, it's fantastic.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, back to you wanting those animals. I mean, this warthog is going to be.
Yeah, it is.
Oh God, yeah.
It's gonna be.
See, my problem is I always want to buy a couple of the damn figures with the pets so I can have multiple of the animals. But then what am I going to do with the extra figures? I don't customize that much.
Right.
Ripper and Torch were my two favorites, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
But I think Ripper, the vintage Ripper, this is where it starts to get complicated for me. Like the vintage Ripper is in my opinion, way cooler than the classified Ripper. I don't know what it is about the vintage one that just feels like, I don't know why the vintage figure feels more dangerous than the classified
cold
version.
stare. I think it's his cold stare.
Yeah, there's no expression, right? He's just like
they all look like Terminators, you know?
Yes, that's part of it, right? I mean, Terminator, Mad Max, Road Warrior. I'm even thinking about like Nukem High and these other movies that were you know, I'm
he's
trying
punk
to think of other
too
ones
as well, with the punk with the mohawk, you know. And,
totally.
I'm a punk, so I am attracted to that part of it.
Yeah, and even Return of the Living Dead, that whole aesthetic was like the punk, the biker, the leather, the colored hair, the mohawks, the you know, the greasiness, the edginess, the like type of attitude, just like amazing.
And the funny thing is like what? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, finish.
Well, plus there was something about, for me, there was something about Australia.
Yeah.
Like Australia to me, when as a kid, like
Buzzers from England.
Australian movies were really fascinating to me. Australian culture was really fascinating to me, and there was just sort of like an edginess there. Anyways, yeah. Go ahead, Bobby. What were you going to say?
No, I would say when I was a kid and throughout my teens, I kind of dressed like them, but I had the sleeveless shirts, the jeans. You know, I thought I was
totally.
Tough, you know, it's like the punk aesthetic, you know, in a way. But I mean, they're more bikers, obviously. You know.
Yeah.
But you still get that edgy punk feel to them from them as well. Even though Buzzer had longer hair, but that doesn't matter. But,
Motorhead, right?
Yeah.
You mix.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
The biker look with the punk look, and that kind of attitude, and plus that kind of
freedom.
The kind of freedom, exactly.
Because I was going to say that I saw photos of the Torch, and I looked at his face. He looks like Lemmy. If you zoom in on his face,
he really does.
He's got Lemmy's nose and everything. He looks like Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yeah, he's Lemmy.
He's got I mean, it's crazy.
The underbite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Lemmy's face right
chin. There. Yep. Let's see
how really excited to finally be getting him this year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm passing on the classifieds just because, unless I see them like on clearance. Yeah. But I have been sort of like, you know, window shopping on eBay for the vintage ones.
Yeah, I remember when the classified announced them, because another one of my favorites from G.I. Joe was Major Blood, and he fits in kind of like them because he's also the Australian. But and I told myself I was going to pass and stuff. So, but then John sent me the two from Emerald Knight Photos. He sent them to me, and I was just like blown away that he sent those to me. Thank you, John, by the way. And then so now I got to get Torch, at least Torch.
Yeah.
Monkey Wrench is supposed to be coming down too with the Thunder Machine.
Oh, it's coming with them.
It's going to be with the vehicle.
Because I want to get Monkey Wrench, though.
I will say, all in all, though, like when they do package it with a vehicle, they're pretty. At least these smaller vehicles have been pretty reasonably priced when it comes to an action figure in a vehicle. Like they're not going to kill you in the price.
So why don't they put Thrasher with a vehicle though instead? Because he came with a vehicle originally.
Yeah, I thought he was the one that came with the Thunder Machine.
Yeah.
Monkey Wrench was his own thing.
Right.
Well, actually, Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong if you're still watching. It is Monkey Wrench who's coming with the Thunder Machine, right?
Because Thrasher's the one next to Monkey Wrench right there at the end.
Right.
The one with the streaks in his hair.
Right, the green streaks, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looks just like, except for the smile, he looks just like the main bad in the first Mad Max movie.
Toe Cutter.
Yeah. I'm gonna just go find my image of him just to show folks.
Yeah, toe cutter. That's him.
Yeah. With the hair. And he's the same actor that played the villain in the newer one.
Yeah, Morton Joe.
I didn't know they were the same guy.
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah, same actor. Yep, Morton Joe.
Those eyes, unmistakable. Those eyes. Look at that.
Yeah. Yep.
Good
I like
point,
that new Mad Max. That was pretty good. I liked it.
That was good. I actually just watched that a couple months ago.
It was a good one.
Yeah, it's great. I'm excited about the next one that's coming up.
Yeah,
too.
the Furiosa one.
Yeah.
Right?
I like to see where they take
Just
that.
glad we're getting more,
Yeah, that's a world that needs
It's
stuff.
always been
I don't want it to be oversaturated, of course, but like movie after movie after movie like they do Marvel.
Yeah, no, nobody would.
No.
I like them. I like every single one of these movies. I know some people like Beyond Thunderdome less than the others, but I love this movie too.
I love Thunderdome up until like when they get to the children, but then the children, they're okay, but it kind of, I don't know, loses the edge. And then, I don't know.
They're like to me, they're like the Ewoks. It's like you tolerate them. It's kind of an adorable part of the movie. But there's significance to the characters. Like Ewoks.
Oh, that's true. That's what I was about to say. Yeah, it does make sense. But why? And stuff like that. Yeah. It just, I think it's because Road Warrior, Mad Max 2 is so high adrenaline.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie just rips from the beginning to end.
Look at that.
And yeah, I mean, I had all three of those action figures from N2 Toys back in the day.
Yeah.
And I sold all of my Mad Max.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's tough.
Always.
I know. That's what I said.
Wanted
Whenever
toys of these, but
yeah, I said I had to cut out a bunch of stuff back in the day, so those were one of them. I didn't want to. And, I mean, the guy with the silver helmet, I forget. I don't remember what they named him as a figure, but it was like a police guy. He was pretty cool. Yeah.
The guy on the poster is what I call him.
Yeah. Yeah, Road Warrior is the best out of all of them, though.
I agree. I totally agree. I can see why people would like Fury Road because it's like it's everything in Road Warrior just on steroids. No pun intended with this guy, but like it's just like huge. Everything's amped up, but there's a real quality to Road Warrior that's organic. It feels even more dirty and back roads and a little scarier.
That's because they're out in the outback compared to like a city. Because I mean, it's post-nuclear war, but they still had civilization that was breaking down. But when you're out there, there's nothing there to stop anybody from doing anything. So
that's part of the reason also why I didn't include as many pictures from the first film, because the first film, Mad Max, feels very much like the world is sort of falling apart still. There's still towns. There's still like people trying to stick to organized law enforcement. But dressing like this.
But it's reality, though. I mean, let's say there is a war because of the shortage of gasoline, this is what all this was about. And civilization breaks down, but you still have people that still want kind of like a society, but then you got the biker gangs and all that there's hardly any law left. I mean, you have 5 police officers in that area.
Yeah.
And then they went after them. They killed, one in the beginning of the movie. You don't see it; it's off screen, but he died from Knight Rider, and then then Goose got burned up, and the other guy, his throat smashed open and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
How about Master Blaster?
Master Blaster's cool.
Yeah,
one of the most cool.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that I liked about Master Blaster, like this dynamic of this big behemoth and giant, and then this little dwarf guy, and something that stuck with me, and I didn't quite realize it until I talk a lot about how one of my favorite X-Men stories is Age of Apocalypse. And in that storyline, Sabretooth is one of the good guys. He works for Magneto's X-Men. And he has a Wild Child who has very similar powers to Wolverine and Sabretooth, except whereas Sabretooth is a big hulking kind of monster, Wild Child's always been depicted as a smaller, kind of faster version of him. And so in Age of Apocalypse, which is post-apocalyptic, Sabretooth is carrying this very feral Wild Child around with him on a chain. And like the dynamic is almost like this, except for, of course, in this case, the small guy is the brains, and then, you know, the brawn is pretty dumb. But I really, really liked it. It's a dynamic that stuck with me. And like one of the things that's on the Mythic Legions in stock sale right now that I kind of had to pass on is that they have for Elithia's Brood, there's Disabilis, I believe Joe will correct me. Disabilis, which is a giant ogre scale vampire. And then they have a Varg, which is a little vampire on a dwarf body. And it comes with all these chains and everything else. And it's like, you know, you could totally have, again, this dynamic of this giant beast monster and this little kind of ferocious thing. Eventually I'll pick them up for that. But that's going to be basically my Master Blaster and my Mythic Legions Vampire Horde.
That's cool.
I love it.
I like these characters. There was a lot of heart to these characters. You don't see it at first, and then at the end, it's like you know, you feel for them. Feeling for the bad guys is, you know, the bad guys is really important.
So I would say I don't know if they're really bad or
exactly.
Not. You know,
yeah.
They're more trying to survive. So
exactly.
he's got this, you know, this commanding role. You know, he's got the big beast, but he's, you know, when he dies, he's sad for him.
Yeah.
It's
tragic
part of him,
too when you realized.
Yeah, it's part of him. So
yeah.
He comes off as an ass, but he really isn't. He's just trying to make it just like everybody else is.
Yep.
Yeah. Wes is cool. He's a cool character.
Yeah.
Him and the Humongous.
Yeah.
I didn't get any pictures of Humongous.
Wow.
Oh, how are you gonna leave off the guy with the hockey mask?
I know. I'm sorry. Leave me to it. I'll fail you every time.
Oh man, come on.
Nah.
Yeah. So, you know, I kind of want post-apocalyptic style and trends to come back, you know?
Yeah, that was a thing like, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that was a thing in the 80s, was all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 80s fashion came back and now we're in 90s, but we skipped out on the whole post-apocalyptic thing.
Well, you gotta wait for another Chernobyl or something to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. We need the fear of the Cold War and nuclear disaster to scare everybody into thinking oh wait, there's preppers out there. It's a whole
I'll tell you, when I was young, I was afraid of that shit.
For sure.
It's all you heard about it. And then that one movie, was it called The Day After or something like that?
Day After Tomorrow?
It was a TV movie back in the early 80s.
Oh yeah.
Nuclear war.
Right.
And that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I was really young when that came out.
The Stand really creeped me out when it came to like some post-apocalyptic stuff. The Stand was creepy as shit.
That's a great book.
Well,
the book's way better than
of course it is.
The early Masters of the Universe mini comics are also post-apocalyptic. I mean, they don't. They just mention it in passing, but that's the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the show? Was it Thundar that was post-apocalyptic, or was it?
Thundar the Barbarian.
Thundar was post-apocalyptic, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think there's a lot of bleak movies coming out right now, so maybe we're entering into another era of thinking about the end of the world and
we need
how
to get
we
rid
would
of all
survive.
We need to get rid of all that happy superhero bullshit. Let's get on to something.
Yeah. Yeah. There should be a DREADNOKS movie.
There
I'm
should
just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Could you imagine a DREADNOK movie?
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
If they do it good, though, if they do it good.
Is this Woody Harrelson? This is Woody Harrelson, right?
Sure.
Well, I don't know about anymore.
Was Woody Harrelson?
Yeah. Natural Born Killer's Woody Harrelson.
I was gonna say that was Natural Born Killer. Well, I don't know. He still managed to pull off Cletus Cassidy pretty good as far as an insane killer. If you've seen Venom too.
Yeah. Natural Born Killer is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
One of my favorite childhood movies. Totally Naturally Born Killers. Yeah, but I say that I
muted myself.
It's all good. I did like a lot of more adult movies though as a kid. Like I said, I was watching Alien and Predator and stuff like that, and I wasn't even double digits yet. My dad was introducing me to that stuff.
Yeah,
I still love it today.
Yeah, I was exposed to Slapshot when I was like 9.
Oh man!
Wow!
Oh man!
That movie is like one of the funniest movies you can watch. I know there's a lot of things in there now that they say in there that aren't politically correct anymore, but it's still funny as shit.
Yeah. We were just, were we talking about Revenge of the Nerds a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
It's just, it's like
nerds.
It was surprising when I rewatched it because I'm watching it and I'm seeing all these scenes. And I'm like, oh man, ouch. Like that's not going to work today.
Like what fuck is a lobster cross? Is that what you're talking about? Like that?
Well, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But then at the end, the ending of Revenge of the Nerds is fantastic. It's like all that stuff is addressed in a really smart way in that last monologue, right? Mm-hmm. It's like it's amazing. It's really good.
Yeah, that's probably like one of the first movies really to deal. I mean, 80s started dealing with bullies, I think, a lot compared to back in 70s, 60s, 50s, or whatever. I think 80s was like the first decade. Am I wrong on that? Bringing out the bully stuff, like to the forefront more. Because that's where a lot of the teen movies had that, where you had the kid being bullied and they had to join them to be friendly, but they were using him, and then the real people told them, it was like that type of story.
Yeah.
Well, I think it brought a lot of awareness to like. I mean, I hate to say it, but that kind of mentality of the bully during the 1950s was how you made it in life, right?
Right.
And then like it was like through the 1980s and the 90s where you were like, people that do this are shitty people.
Right.
And you should not think that these are the cool guys or these are the ones to emulate or
exactly.
Be like these guys and kind of like bring more attention to no, you don't do this. Like this is not okay. And I agree. Like you saw a lot more of that in the 80s going into the 90s. Bobby's good call out.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles.
It makes me think of Christmas Story, like the triumph of the kid against the bully.
Yeah.
Oh,
see, that's another one.
Yeah.
All right. So he's like, you always feel better for the nerds now, like the people that aren't that popular.
Well, the nerds,
you have more sympathy for them, and that you actually see that they're real people, not fake people like the bullies were.
The nerds have really become the mainstream cool now, though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
it's true.
I used to wear Chuck Taylors when I was in grade school, and all the kids would laugh at me because they were old gym shoes back then, old style.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden now they're still everywhere.
Everybody wants Chucks.
And
yeah.
I used to wear them all the time when I was little.
So who? Let's figure out who would play these characters.
Okay.
What actors would play these characters?
Oh man, that's tough.
Let's start here.
All right. That's
so
tough.
we're talking like
I'm not really big on pop culture with actors and things like that.
Well, I was going to say, are we talking like we're talking current modern actors, or are we talking?
Yeah, if they were going to have this movie come out next year, who would be playing these guys? I could see Tom Hardy playing Ripper.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what? Yeah, I was going to say Tom Hardy would definitely be playing one of these guys. I just couldn't decide who, but Ripper I think would definitely be a good choice for him.
Or Torch. It's tough.
I'm trying to think of who else I would like to play. I'm so like out of the loop on movies now.
Yeah, me too. I don't know actors that well anymore.
But you know, I look. You had to bring the Helmsworth brothers into the whole thing.
Oh, the Hemsworth.
I mean, they're already Australian too, so.
I could see, what the guy who played Thor, Chris
Hemsworth.
I can see him playing Ripper.
And then his brother Liam probably playing Torch. Him though, I'm trying to think of who, because Bobby had called out earlier about him being English, and that's a good point. Like, I want a good. I keep seeing Woody Harrelson, but then I'm also thinking, but he's not a current actor anymore. Freaking
who's
Niles?
The actor who played Niles? Oh, Niles from Frasier. Oh, that's hilarious.
Hey, he's clearly not ripped or toned enough, but he's got.
I like what Allison is saying here.
I could see him.
Allison is right. Let's go back to Allison's comments. Charlize Theron is Buzzer for sure.
Okay, let's go for it. There we go. Right, she was already in Mad Max.
Yeah,
Vinny Jones would be Road Pig. Yeah, just I mean, I love Vinny Jones, but he would definitely. Didn't Vinny Jones pass away? Why is that just coming into my head?
I don't even know who that is. Who is that?
You ever seen Lock, Stock?
No.
And Two Smoking Barrels or Snatch?
Oh, is he
Bullet Tooth Tony?
No.
Is he
Midnight Meat Train?
I see Midnight Meat Train.
He's
okay, the killer.
The killer. Okay, if I remember.
So you're talking about
Midnight Meat Train is a Clive Barker story.
Juggernaut. Juggernaut,
yes,
right?
Juggernaut. The one who made I'm Juggernaut, bitch, famous.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
All right. How about for Zartan, you could get Ralph Fiennes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Okay.
That's a good one. I was thinking the actor who played Loki as Buzzer.
Oh, he could do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston, he would be pretty good. Plus,
Tom
he's already got the dynamic if we have Chris Helmsworth in there, too.
Yeah, just dye his hair blonde. And
who would we want to see play Zorana?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
That's a tough one. This is a harder question than I thought it would.
Yeah, because I'm not up to speed.
We should have prepped for this. Should have prepped for this.
Well, yeah. Who's gonna play Zanzibar?
Clearly, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's exactly right.
How can anybody else?
That is so true.
Who else would? You could not put him in charge of essentially the pirate.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
Yeah, right. He's a pirate too. That's right. That's funny. Yeah.
It'll be. I hope that they do something with these characters. What were there? 3 G.I. Joe movies, or was it 2 or something like that?
So, Jurassic World actress Bryce Dallas.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
She probably had to look for it. I don't know if I could take her as a. Well, You know what though?
You never know,
right? Like really. I don't think of her as tough like that, but I bet you put her in.
What's that redhead girl from WWE?
Oh, well, she's not in WWE anymore. You're talking about Ruby Riott or Ruby Soho?
No. Well, not Ruby Soho. She's in AEW.
Yeah, she switched over.
She's like Irish.
Oh, Becky Lynch?
Yeah, if you cut her hair.
Yeah, the man, Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I'd totally love to see her pull a freaking Zorana. and she could throw hands with any guy you put out there.
Yeah, I think she would probably be good.
She'd be amazing, I think.
Yeah, I like Zorana's punk hair better. Like that old style hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vinny.
I mean, there's probably a lot of Australian actors out there too that we don't know that probably play like Naga Hyde.
You probably want a lot of
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It would have to be like
my brother-in-law.
Your brother-in-law, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
I think the DREADNOKS movie would have to be like a subplot, and
like away from the G.I. Joe type of stuff.
Yeah.
More like them themselves.
Yeah.
Not a subplot, but like a totally new thing.
Yeah.
Different tone for sure.
Different tone.
Just a group of mercenaries. Because I mean, like do a string of Dreadnought movies prior to them working for Cobra. Almost.
That's what I say, like an origin. Like I hate origins movies, but I think they would do good with one. Like how they got the group together, type of deal.
Yeah, the building of the team.
Yeah.
What got them on the radar of Cobra to be like, all right, well, we have this entire army, but you guys can really get shit done. So let's hire you guys.
Hide out in the swamps of Louisiana and all kinds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be like the Sergeant Slaughter's Renegades versus the Dreadnoks?
Slaughter's Marauders.
Yeah, I don't recall in the cartoon who they were kind of where they paired up with like Nemesis and on G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Pretty much almost like any sub team that they wanted to throw up against them. Really, I mean, Slaughter's Marauders can't come to mind because it was like that elite group of G.I. Joe like badasses. Right, like this is the ragtag bunch of guys that got kicked out of every other military thing, and that's kind of like how you feel about
part 2, the cartoons.
Yeah,
I don't really like these too much.
Armored Cobra
I don't think they're that good.
Makes me want to rewatch all the Mad Max movies.
Yeah, I just watched Mad Max the other day.
Yeah,
I like the first one. I think it's not as good as Road Warrior, but it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Road
pure...
Warrior. Go ahead, Bobby.
No, I was to say it's just a pure movie. It's the first one, of course, but it's just I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they had much planned for a sequel, and honestly, with the budget they were working with that first one, it's amazing that they were able to pull it off like they did.
Yeah, it did good for them.
Yeah, well, because they had to cut so many corners to do the first one, and work way under because they had like no budget at all to make the film.
Right.
But then it did so well. And that's why we see this rapid change with the sequels, especially with this one, even though like your main set is just driving across desert and all like that. But like to do the different chases and everything that they needed to do.
It's like that chase scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, Road Warrior was always my favorite as well. Yeah. And I think the main reason for that, too, was also like my dad had recorded it off of Cinemax. He had the others as well, but I think like for some reason I was always drawn to watching more of the Road Warrior than those other two. I think it could have been just Humongous as well. This guy and Humongous drawing me in because he was just absolutely evil. And you know what? He had the guy he carried around by the leash too. Now I think about it, kind of like that dynamic of like the giant beastly guy carrying around the littler guy. I mean,
Golden
with that
Boy.
case, it was more of a Golden Boy. Thank you. It was more of a femme thing, but
yeah, it was.
You know, than like a smaller. Well, I'm saying like instead of like the dynamic of Master Blaster and that kind of thing, but the way he treated Golden Boy was just a very similar relationship to that.
Yeah.
But this guy was absolute psycho. Like he had me terrified.
Oh,
he was great as a villain in Commando too.
Right?
Yes. Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Yeah, and Weird Science, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was dressed just like that.
He was it was the same guy, right?
It was intentional.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie. I was on Tubi not too long ago and I watched it again because it's been years.
Weird Science?
Yeah. God, the movie's so much better than the show.
I actually watched it the first time like 3 years ago. It's like
really?
one of those movies, yeah. It's like one of those
wow.
movies I had on my list that I need to watch someday, and it just never came to. And I finally, it was like I think it was on Tubi back then. I was like, I'm fucking watching it. I have to.
Yeah.
Before I don't have the opportunity.
Because they made the TV series, but it was just crap, right?
Yeah,
like,
I don't watch TV
honestly
based off of movies.
Well, sometimes they can be good because you can get like deeper into the story than it allows in a movie. But that was a movie that you did not need to dive deeper into.
Yeah, right. No, of course not. No.
It's a very self-contained plot that worked for the movie, and that we can call it a day, folks.
I didn't realize there was a TV show. I missed that whole era.
It was back in the 1990s where they like just taking 80s movies and trying to make TV series out of them. It was a terrible idea then. Not the greatest idea now. Although, I will say, if it was not for the Nightmare on Elm Street TV series, we probably never would have had Brad Pitt. Ooh, Brad Pitt could have played one of them. Yeah, that's where he made his debut. Nightmare on Elm Street, the TV series. He was a one-off in an episode, though. He wasn't like a mainstay character.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt is Naugahyde?
No, you need someone who's really deep Australian for Naugahyde.
Right. I was thinking more like
he could do Torch.
He could do
Torch.
No, I was thinking maybe more either Torch or Monkey Wrench, one of the two.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Monkey Wrench, right.
Well, because they look so much alike, those
two. They do. Yeah, they're pretty similar in the face. The hair. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, some like older, rougher guy. Yeah. Monkey Wrench seems like he would be a little older. I don't know why, but
would have been Chuck Norris back in the day.
yeah. Totally.
Chuck Norris would have played all of the Dreadnoks back in the day. All of them. Whole team.
Totally.
There wouldn't have been a G.I.
Johnson in the middle there.
Yeah, right.
There it is. You know, you ain't lying about that.
The German boxer guy in Indiana Jones could play Naugahyde.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, there we go. That'll work.
All right. Well, that's fun. Like, I'm glad that we're all on the same page with how rad these people are, these characters.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, definitely being a kid, a product of the 80s and everything, like, there's just something so cool about a biker gang. And you didn't see it in cartoons a lot or toys. So, like, the fact that, boom, here's this biker gang in the middle of this military toy line. Because they started introducing the Dreadnoks before they started getting like really crazy, very outlandish type characters. Like you still had like one or two.
Oh, Dreadnoks came pretty early though too.
But well, that's what I'm saying. Like it was before they got like crazy outlandish with some of the characters throughout the series in the later years of the 80s.
Yeah, late 80s, 90s was starting to get bad. Just like all really the toy lines were. Yeah.
But but again, like the Dreadnoks were that outlandish group. Right. And, you know, it was just something so great about that and seeing that and being like, hell yeah, these guys are badass.
Yeah.
And then when you combined it with, you know, the accents and everything when you're watching them on the cartoon.
Yeah, it makes them special. Yeah.
Right. Like they were something real special about these guys. And that like just totally drew me in. And I've been a fan of them ever since. Like out of all the G.I. Joe characters and all of them, like the Dreadnoks are my favorite. And they're all a bunch of twisted psychos that love destruction and chaos. So
Exactly.
I mean, I guess
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like all the Dreadnoks. I'm not a big fan of Zanzibar.
Well, because again, they got weird now.
Yeah, Road Pig's okay. I'm more of like the core.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Road Pig, like the art on the card looks great. The figure looks a little silly. If you actually zoom in on him, he looks a little like he looks more friendly than anything.
Yeah. But sometimes when they get too big, it starts to get muddy. You know what I mean?
Actually,
right.
If you look at Road Pig, he looks like Patton Oswalt with muscles.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
Totally.
All right. So Patton Oswalt as Road Pig. It'll be the most intimidating Patton Oswalt has ever been. And I'm all for it now that you say
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Biker Mice from Mars. Let's see a movie about Biker Mice from Mars too.
Well, we're getting them coming back. Nacelle's doing those Biker Mice from Mars. They got a kind of like shared universe going on. New comics.
Cool.
We're getting some new media for those guys. I'm excited for that. Not huge though, because again, they were like when they were coming out in the 90s. Like I wasn't as big into. I don't know. I didn't really care for them. It seemed like they were trying to ride the Ninja Turtles wave like everybody else was, and I was just kind of done with it at that point. Because like, you know, I loved Thundercats. I loved Ninja Turtles. Like, you know, when it first came out and everything, I was really big into that. And then like everybody was trying to do these anthropomorphic animals, and I love that kind of stuff. But at the same point in time, there was just too much of it, and most of it was not really that good. So I was like, all right, I'm going to step away. And although I do love bikers, I was not a big fan of the Biker Mice from Mars.
What are those shark people again?
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks, yeah.
There's Street Sharks and Battletoads.
Their cousin, the Extreme Dinosaurs. Street Sharks, actual cousin series.
The action version muscle version of Trolls come out around there too.
Stone Warriors. Yeah.
Stone Warriors, yeah.
Or Gem Warriors. Protectors of the Gem.
I missed the boat on all that stuff.
Gleeman the Siemens.
But I will say, I'm excited to see a lot of these brands get revisited and getting some love. Like the Battletoads toys that are coming out right now are freaking nuts. Oh, Bucky O'Hare, that was another one, but I like that.
Bucky O'Hare,
Bucky O'Hare.
Adam's toys are falling down back there.
Yeah, my dog decided to get up from his nap and somehow he bumped the thing.
Well, I'm gonna need to start buying some stands when I start setting everything up because I think this shelf's not as sturdy as this one, and I'm a little worried about stuff going to be falling off once I get everything all set up. So, Travis, I need some Hexastacks. I'm just saying.
There you go. Well, what do you say we dive into the Battle Ram report? Bobby, you ready? Adam, you ready?
Battle Ram report.
Let's do it.
All right.
They're ready. I'm not ready yet. Hold on.
All right, you waited all week for this, and now here it is. Adam's new Battle Ram report of the day. You love them. We love them as well. Here's Adam. Take it away, Adam.
Right on.
All right. Thank you, Bobby.
Yep.
All right. So like I was saying, this is the preview of an upcoming article that will be up on my site pretty soon. So we're going to talk about Titus, the heroic giant warlord. So I don't have a lot of I've covered. Let's see, what do I have left to cover on my? It's just in terms of articles. Like I do a lot of other things besides this, but articles like that covers the whole history of a toy. I think I've only got like 10 from the vintage line that I haven't covered. So here we go. So Titus. Titus. This is kind of the title image, and we'll go over where this art came from a little further on. But if you want to kind of move forward to the next image or images, starts out with this design by Alan Tyler. He's the same artist who did Hero and Eldor. So he gives a couple of different options. You can see it's the same image, just with different weapons. He's got kind of a strange looking mace, and the figure on the one on the right, he's got this claw weapon, which was supposed to grab figures. We'll kind of see how that develops later. Mm-hmm. But and you can kind of see they play with him. He's very they've got kind of the silver boots early on, but they mess around with some of the he's got his costume's a little weird. He's got like this metal underwear in these designs. I don't know. It's hard to.
It's got a chastity belt.
Yeah, it doesn't look very comfortable.
Nope.
But they played with a couple of different things. You can see on the right, there's more of the final look for him, and he's got the G. The G on the chest is for Grayskull, because Hero's name was actually originally going to be Grayskull, but they changed it to Hero. But Titus wound up still having the G when he came out for the original name for Hero. You get this. We don't know who the artist is. It may be Alan Tyler as well. But this is from a larger scene, like a Preternia scene, where they're just trying to, here's what the world of Preternia would look like. And the idea actually was that it was Titus and Megator as giants, but it wasn't just them. It was like they were the leaders of the giants, so there'd be multiple giants. And obviously this he's attacking some of there's some frog men and snake men and dinosaurs they're all in this battle.
He's punching that pterodactyl right out of the sky.
Yeah. So there's let's see, these images. You can see that's it. I'll call the one on the left a prototype. It's a factory sample, but you can see the hair isn't quite right. It looks more like a 35-year-old mom.
I saw her at the bowling alley in '87, actually.
Yeah. But I think one of the Mattel guys brought that to PowerCon once. But you can kind of see the final version of Titus along with Megator. Plans for more giants. There were more in the story. Like the original pitch for this world, there was Titus. They didn't even name him in the pitch, but like there was the leader of the giant with other giants. I don't know if they actually were going to make more toys of them, but at least canon wise, there were it was like a race of giants.
I could see them.
Yeah,
just trying to make the money on the tooling and the buck and everything like that. They constantly like to reuse parts. So now you got these two giants. Why not try to reuse them?
Yeah, they definitely could have. His feature, I think, in the next. Okay, we'll go over him. So he's. Karen wants to see. Yes, exactly. Yes, powers of Grayskull right Karen.
Powers of Grayskull Karen.
That's good.
The pumpkin spice latte was not warm enough.
I demand
all over me.
Demand your bones for my bread.
So here you have some pictures of the figure. Most of them were made in Italy. There may be some images of Mexican ones. There's the very few Mexican Tituses, but you can see the weapon was so in the original earlier on in the concept art. He had this clawed capture weapon, which was pitched. They couldn't actually make it work, so David Wolfram, who did a lot of the New Adventures designs, he designed this weapon for Titus, and it was basically, what can I do that will actually capture a figure? And it looks. People often compare this to the vacuum cleaner, like this is his vacuum cleaner. But it does work. If you put it over a figure's head, has these.
I thought you were going to say it works as a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Hey,
put a little motor in there.
I see the similarities here in the New Adventures sort of wiring stuff that's going on in the design.
Copper too, color.
For
Copper,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's very much his style. So that kind of worked with Titus's movement. He had I've never played with one, but from videos that I've seen, I know is advertised with like a spring arm. I think I don't know if it actually had the spring, but it did have a connected gear system that would move the head, as you did the arm up and down. So that's kind of what he was able to do. You can see here the one on the picture on the right is a test shot of Titus as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and here's for those interested in this minutia, there's the one on the left is Mexico Titus. There's I think only like 4 or 5 of these that are known to exist. So it's probably if you have a Mexico Titus, congratulations. Yeah, right. If you have any Titus, congratulations, because they're all
seriously
very hard to get.
Us Americans catch a lot of crap for being able to get everything so easily, but everything that came out in foreign countries is really, really hard for us to get.
Yeah, for sure. There's the bottom view of the weapon, and it had the prongs on the inside were rubber, so they would kind of grip without scratching up your toy. There's a disassembled version of Titus.
There's that mechanism
showing the mechanism.
Yeah, that was from Master English, because I know I think he did some custom Tituses, including like some like translucent versions as well. So he had bought one to disassemble like that.
Kenny, if you're still watching, we want giants. We know how you go crazy when you start 3D printing stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
We'll have like 30, 40 different giants. Trapjaw giant. We'll have all the different giants.
So here's Titus in the packaging. The art on the front was by William George, who did probably most of the box art over the years. And later on, we'll get a nice zoom in of that picture. On the back, I don't know who did the art, but that's, it's very little explanation. It's a multilingual on the back, but it, he's a heroic giant, and a little bit about his action feature.
Giant sandwich.
Different views of the box there.
I'd love a giant sandwich right now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean to, because the way you said that one thing, it sounded like the bubble gum, like I was ready to keep going.
Giant étouffée.
All right. I think there's probably another.
Was there one more? Is this the one?
Yeah, just that's top and side. Yeah, and that shows off.
When I first saw this image, I was like, why would they have a photo of the top of his head? Like, that's such a weird thing to include on the box.
You see if Titus has male pattern baldness?
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I see. It's a window. It really threw me for a bit.
The Vertex is looking a little thin on this Titus. I think I'll go shop around a little more until I find a better one.
You would think that would be for lighting, though, like to light up the figure inside because it was a window.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Because it would be too dark then, I guess.
So this is a nice scan that somebody did of the front and back of the box. If you, once this comes out, check out the artwork on the front. The artwork on the back is a little bit less, to my taste at least, but the stuff on the front is great. And you see him fighting against King Hiss and the Snake Man, and you see Hero on the box. It's a pretty cool scene.
This guy really has it out for King Hiss.
Yeah, he definitely.
Every image, he's like, even in this photo, he's getting King Hiss.
The giant likes to handle his snake, okay?
Oh, dear God.
Oh, shit.
Gotta handle that snake all over Preternia.
So, usually my articles, I'll put in just about every, if they appeared on a poster or, wherever I can get them. There's very little for Titus because he was at the very tail end. He was supposed to come out in '87. They canceled the line, so they just made a few for Europe. But there was this Errol McCarthy art, probably originally for the style guide, but it wasn't actually used. But you can see him with Hero there in the back.
That's cool.
That's a really great illustration.
I like that. It's funny too about like his weapon. It reminds me just recently, I got all of the Fright Features Ghostbusters, that, wave where they had all the weird, goofy gimmicks. And every time I see this weapon, I think of Winston's weapon for that wave. It's basically just the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely it's a weapon that is driven by the action feature rather than looking like a weapon.
Yeah. I think Allison's going to color this next.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
That's going to be the Battle Ram blog and Allison coloring.
There we go. And this is just one of the Italian. There's a couple of Italian ads. This is one featuring these guys, and again, he's going after King Hiss. He won't leave him alone.
Yes, he is. Megator's like, stop picking on my snake. That's my pet.
Wow.
And then I think there's one more ad from like Magic Boy magazine.
That's so great.
And that's just artwork from the Mattel catalog. It's kind of showing off. Yeah. But
look at the dance moves down there in the lower left-hand corner.
Yeah, well, Megator, he's got that kick action feature, so that's which is why he's kind of got the banana hammock going on, because they had to leave, have that articulation on the leg to allow him to kick.
Oh man. So is anybody watching this have these figures? And if you're in the chat, if you have these figures, let us know. We'd love to find out where you live.
Are any of our viewers that rich?
Yeah, I don't even have those.
What are these going for?
I know a couple years ago they were like upwards of $300. I don't know what they're at these days.
They're all over 1,000. I don't know if it's multiple thousands now, but it's
I was going to say
over 1,000.
I think the last time I was looking them up was around the time that Classics was a thing. So,
oh yeah,
that was the time to get so many vintage things that have like this kind of stuff, or like gift sets like He-Man and Battle Cat, or some of that kind of stuff.
Right.
That stuff has shot up. It's impossible to get unless you want to sell a kidney.
All right, Megator. $2,200 is the best deal. He's not boxed. $3,800. Oh my goodness! Holy Grail, 1986 Mattel Mexico Masters of the Universe Megatour, but it's a prototype.
Is that on eBay right now?
Yeah, 9,999.
I'm gonna hit the filter guide for under 300 and see what I can find.
Here, I want to get that. Look at this.
Imagine that it's all plastics versions.
Oz, can you blow me up?
I'm on it. Since you asked nicely.
Yeah, there was an auction for this. I think it was the same one like years ago that I saved the image. But it looks like whoever, it was sold, but whoever bought it looks like they're selling it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because I was going to say, as rare as the figure itself is, got to imagine that prototype's even more rare.
Yeah.
All right, Megator, Giant Motu Rare. Oh, well, at least he comes out and admits it. He straight up says 3D printed Masters of the Universe. So,
well, he should.
But that one's only $200. What's going on, Ted? Hella dope toys in the house, folks.
All right.
Give you guys a big shout out earlier. My Booberry will be here tomorrow. Thank you very much, Ted. I want to see that lick spot. Ted personally licks every one of your figures before he ships it. Quality stamp of approval, folks.
Ted, that's very dangerous.
Yeah.
For you don't know where Ted's been.
Yeah, it's dangerous for everybody. It's dangerous for Ted to be licking toys, and dangerous for his customers.
Like Allison's comment here, I feel like taking a Ken and gluing some hair on him and calling him Prototitus.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Say.
Adam.
But that and
sorry about
if I was gonna do a normal article, like this is pretty much all the content. Normally there'd be like 3 times as much content, but he never appeared in any comics, so there's just not as much for him.
Yeah. It's too bad that these guys just faded away.
Yeah.
And it would be really cool if Mattel did something to honor them today. Mattel Creations thing, like or a con exclusive or something.
Yeah, it seems to me they really should if they want to at least honor what they said about finishing the line. These guys are part of the line. These are figures in the vintage line, so they should really do them.
Yeah, in my mind, they're not. So don't tell me that.
Okay,
for Bobby's sake, please don't say that.
For Bobby's sake, no. Well, yeah, I mean, I can understand. I like it. I would exclude them.
Yeah, I don't have the 4 overseas figures. Yeah.
Totally understandable though, because honestly, like I didn't realize how special it was when my buddy Eric got Turbodactyl and Bionatops. Like we were kids and we were just playing with them, like that. And I didn't realize that was something that there was not a lot of here in the US. Mind you, when his dad picked him up, like it wasn't from in store. It was at a flea market and picked up both of them from the same guy. But yeah, they were like dirt cheap. They were like $10 for both. $10, not like each, but $10 for both. Which even in like that would have been like 1990. May seem like a little pricey, but you were getting like a vehicle essentially. And that was about like kind of like the going rate. So it didn't like seem strange. Now it's like, man, wish I could get a Turbodactyl Bionatops for $10.
Someday, Oz, you'll be shopping somewhere and you'll just see it, and it'll be person who'll be selling it won't know what they have, and
man, I'll pass it up like I passed up a $3 Blaster Hawk, and I'm kicking
You will
myself
not pass
now.
that. You will not pass that up.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do it. Not for
'Cause-
dinos. I don't pass
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, those dinosaurs are expensive too. They're not like
Yeah.
as much as the giants, but they're pretty pricey.
They are expensive.
Right. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because the dinosaurs had limited North American release. And I
Mhm.
say North American because I heard it was like mostly Canada got them, but
Yeah.
some filtered their way down here to the States.
Yeah, that's true. Canada does get stuff that the United States didn't get. I mean, like
We get a lot of the
Yak Face
European
from Star
stuff.
Wars.
Yeah.
You know,
I did see when I was a kid. I saw Tyrannosaurus Rex. Some kid I was at his house and he had it.
Man.
I saw in the background at like a daycare or something I went to once, but I didn't know the significance of it. Because to me, like He-Man didn't have dinosaurs. My first introduction to He-Man having dinosaurs was when we got the Turbodactyl and Bionatops.
Mhm.
Like I said, that wasn't even my collection. That was my buddy Eric's collection. We didn't just call it a collection at the time. It was, his toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my favorite though is Karen Titus.
Right?
That's just hilarious.
Returnia Karen
Yep.
would be speaking to your manager.
You can't park your boots there. What's wrong with you?
Get this snake off my lawn. It's not your lawn. This is a field.
Yeah. Adam, once again, an amazing
Yes.
Battle Ram report.
Thanks, guys. So look for this coming up in the next week or so.
Beautiful.
Can't wait.
It wasn't Preternia. It was Powers of Grayskull, Karen.
That's
There we
right.
go. Powers of Grayskull. Yep.
Remember it, folks. Hashtag Powers of Grayskull, Karen.
Yeah.
Once your snake's out of her lawn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm thinking we're actually gonna get these guys. Hero
You
and
think so?
Eldor. I do feel like those are a very, very big possibility from the future of the line.
It could be like one of those Mattel Creation type
Mhm.
GoFundMe thing, or not GoFundMe. What do you call those?
Crowd funds?
Crowd funds.
Crowd fund?
Could
Yeah.
be. I mean, let's face it. Well, the heck was it? Just a month away now. We're finally going to be getting more news about the snake layer.
Oh,
yeah. They said
Oh,
that they
yeah,
were
I'd
going to
forgotten
start that
about
around
that.
in April. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Forgot about that.
did they announce I couldn't remember. They did announce what one? Did they or did they?
Yeah, the snake layer one.
Yeah.
Oh,
The snake layer won.
Snake Layer did win officially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
That was the official winner. And I'm telling you, it's for the exact reason that I said. Everybody picked again, the attack track. And then they thought the snake layer was kind of cool. Or they picked, Fright Zone. And the snake layer was pretty cool. Like everybody was just kind of picking it as and it's pretty cool. And
I think there are a lot of people who really want it. And
there was believe me,
totally-
there was definitely a
yeah.
lot of people who really want it. At least this guy,
Yeah.
and I count like 3 or 4 people on how hyped I was to see that, even though I could only vote once. But I'm telling you, the reason that it got such a big boost over a lot of the other ones was because it was a lot of people's second choice.
Yeah.
I wish Mattel Creations would figure some things out, like why the
Well,
hell
like
new
international
Eternia Snout
shipping.
Spout. That would be an amazing thing if they would fix.
Well, that's a
Yeah, I
real
think we're
disappointment,
beyond.
right? I think we're beyond fixing. Is that where we're going, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, it's been how long has it stuff been going? I mean, I'm sure they could fix something going forward, but
Yeah.
they're like, why?
Well, I know Mutu Origins Corp. He wrote that
Yeah.
open letter to Mattel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I
Everybody
think a
should
lot
go
of
read that.
international fans. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And
Many words.
it's in depth. It covers all the bases, and he's speaking up for the fans. I mean, Masters of the Universe has fans everywhere, and to a lot. I mean, a lot of international fans. I mean, maybe even more than American fans.
It's
I mean,
one of the most
cut,
globally recognized franchises.
And to cut out, not to make it nearly impossible for people to get things is really frustrating. I can see why that would be frustrating.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, Mattel is a global company. They distribute toys all over the world all the time. You get Hot Wheels in like any country. You get Barbie in just about any country. Why can't you sell
it's strange.
Mattel Creations exclusive products overseas?
As Bobby mentioned, that they've been kind of like, it's not been an easy ride. It's kind of like it's become their MO to have distribution issues and fans be disappointed about the availability of things. And it just seems like that's like been Mattel's thing for Masters. I don't know what it's Mattel. I see Barbies everywhere. I see Hot Wheels everywhere. I mean, there's
I really don't think they care.
of those things.
I really don't think they care. I mean, you look at, say, like, let's look like Grizzlor, right? We all ordered Grizzlor, we all got them, and then they had the second run of his, and then let's just say your Grizzlor is falling apart or breaking while you just got it. Like it just delivered today, and you open it up and his leg falls off. You call up Mattel Creations and these say, "Well, we're sorry, we'll ship you something out," and it's a totally different figure. They don't have like backup for that. They don't think like they don't think. I mean, you think they would have a bunch of them like sitting around just in case.
You would think that they would do enough order quantity,
right? Like
that they would
a small
have
percentage.
stuff to right. That you would have enough for replacements,
right?
And then again, like, okay, so not to keep beating this horse to death here, bringing up the 4 horsemen again. But they tend to order a lot of spare product that they keep back for any kind of QC issues. Mind you, their margin of error, even though like right now, as the cabal has grown, you're seeing a lot more people post about QC issues with Mythic Legions. Jeremy came out and he was talking about the numbers and the percentages of QC, and it's still a lot lower than what you see from a lot of other toy brands. But one of the big things that they do is they do order enough that they have enough to swap out for people. If your figure is damaged, they're going to be really, really good about sending you a replacement for it, right? And then the rest of that stock that doesn't sell, that's when you get these in-stock sales where a figure that's like 2 or 3 waves back that you don't have anymore or is not so readily available, bam, and now suddenly somebody gets a chance to get it that didn't have it before, but it was something that they held back for any QC issues, and they're like, all right, well, guess what? Like, this figure's been out for over a year now, and we've replaced all the broken ones we're going to replace because nobody's getting them and saying that it's broken, so we don't need to worry about replacing it. But I agree, Bobby. They need to be able to do that because I know a lot of people were having issues with the glue on Grizzlor, and like his fur coat was just coming right off, and he's a really underwhelming figure under the cloak. It's just a base level buck with a hairy glue. That's all. Like, that's it. But other stuff too, like, again, that super limited amount. And I mean, I guess, I don't know. There's stuff that goes on there that we don't see, that we don't know. It seems like it should be an easy fix for us, but it's not always.
It's business.
Right. I'm not a fan of this at all. I thought this was a really kind of stupid decision, having Snout Spout as a Mattel Creations exclusive. Like, I don't like when they put main roster characters as Mattel Creations exclusives. Even with Grizzlor, as much as I understood the fact that because of all the hair on him, which again only makes it feel even more cheaper with how they did it, but it cost a lot more to do all of that, so they put it as a Mattel Creations exclusive. I still didn't think it was right. You don't take like a main character for the line that you know a lot of people are going to want and post it as Mattel Creations exclusive. I think that is very wrong. I don't like that. At least not in the way where you're only going to have, like Thanos is saying, a limited run. It just does not make sense. You make sure that quantity is going to be fixed enough that you will be able to get to as many people that want it. And yeah, I agree. Like, I do. I feel so beaten up by Origins. The only things I've been getting excited about are all the different Snake Men that are coming out. Everything else, I've just kind of been like, yeah, whatever. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I have a hard time getting excited about it. They announce a Fright Zone, I'm going to get excited about it. They give us Modulock, I'm going to get excited about it, you know. But for the most part, I'm not as excited as I was a year and a half ago about Origins anymore. I'm just not. And part of that is because I can't walk into a store and pick up a new Origins figure. Like, they just don't exist there. I've actually been relatively able to find Turtles of Grayskull out there. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Like, I've seen Wave 1, with the exception of He-Man, in retail at Target. I've seen Mousejaw, but these new Turtles of Grayskull exclusive figures that are coming up for Collector Con, I just don't see it happening. And that's what makes me worried about Terror and Lower to Grasp. I don't think I'm going to be able to get them, because I know Walmart's going to cancel my order like 7 times. And then I'm going to see people post on Facebook that they found them in their local Walmarts, but I'm not going to be in any of those states, or they're not going to post what states they're in when they find them in Walmart. So I have no idea where they're at.
You're seeing more than I am. I'm seeing Mouse Jaw and that's it. There's there's Mouse Jaw and there's Naked Stratos.
Yeah, still
seeing a lot of that.
I go to Walmart looking for something new, and I see Naked Stratos and a bunch of Mossmen. And that's weird. That's super weird. A friend of mine who lives just north of my area ran into a big stack of Mossmen for $15 each at Walmart on clearance. That's pretty remarkable because I've seen Masters of the Universe maybe once or twice on clearance at Walmart's, and it's like, for Origins, it's on clearance for $13, or Masterverse on clearance for $20. I mean, their idea of clearance sometimes is insane to me.
Right.
But I'm not seeing anything new in my area. It's more exciting right now for me to go to Ross and see what I might run into there than it is to go to Target or.
Well, some are saying they're seeing them at Five Below as well. I don't know if you checked.
Yeah, Five Below too. Yeah.
My sister just found my sister found that entire Manny Faces wave at Five Below. Really
That's cool. A good wave too.
To address Kenzo's thing here, saying about how you can't find Four Horsemen anywhere but specialty shops. Most of the toy store, first off, Four Horsemen themselves don't order enough units to be sold at mass retail, which is why you don't find them in stores. You're not going to walk into a store. They're still a very boutique company. You're not going to find them in any big box store. You can find them at their authorized retailers. And if their authorized retailer has a storefront, and that's more on the authorized retailer, right? Like, you don't find any of Big Bad Toy Store stock on shelves because they're not a physical store. But when I go to Eternia Dream, they've got it. Because, again, they're an authorized retailer that sells in store. I also don't have issues with trying to order new figures from Four Horsemen that I do with Mattel. when I order, when we all try to order on Mattel Creations and it sells out before our lunch break's over, fortunately, the community's been really good about helping each other out and getting these toys, buying extras to get in the hands of others. They can definitely do that. But you know what? When the Four Horsemen put up a wave for pre-order, it's up there for a freaking month, and it's a pre-order. So there's no issue getting what you want.
Mm-hmm.
They also don't have an order quantity until the pre-orders are complete. That's why I can get excited. There we go.
Great.
Four Horsemen are protective of their brand, and we appreciate them for that.
Yeah, it's just, there's always going to be, it feels like there's going to be problems. The whole time we've been talking about this, I've been thinking, I don't know about you guys, but I have a pretty large collection of Origins figures over here. And I can't, the more, with all the disappointment, I can't help but think, when I stand back and look at those cool things, I would have never believed anybody to say that this is something that would happen. So
nope.
There are these problems, but we can't forget how lucky we are to have something new and to find it every once in a while, or to trade with friends, or to order it online, just to have the opportunity. And that's insane to me, to have the opportunity to buy a snout spout if you want it, and in this style, unheard of. It's unheard of. I will say again that with all that positive stuff I'm trying to say right now, it sucks for international collectors. It just sucks. That's my biggest disappointment. If I end up not being able to find cool toys in the stores anymore, that's fine. I'll find a way to get a cool toy if I really want it.
Yeah.
But for international collectors to not be able to have these things is really shameful.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. You can buy, let me just say this last thing. You can buy a Toy Frenzy t-shirt. If you live in another country, they manufacture it in the country closest to you and they send it to you. That's how you can
get it.
We're just 4, sometimes 5 guys talking on a YouTube channel with less than 2,000 subscribers. It's like we're this big, but there's a company out there that lets us put a brand on something and sell it to people all over the world if they were interested. That and if a person living in
Eternia,
in another country, in Eternia or wherever, can't get it, it just sucks. I just sent something to Eldor. If I can send something to Eldor, Mattel, you can send something to Eldor.
Right.
The part that does not make sense to me about this all, and Eldor knows exactly what this is. It was a while ago. He had went to go order one of their things and it didn't work and he wasn't able to get it online. Eldor, I can't remember which one it is, but I know you'll put it in the chat for me. So they couldn't fulfill his order. And as an apology, now they couldn't ship it to him. That was the reason they couldn't fulfill his order, because they couldn't ship it to him in Eternia. So they offered a choice of gifts that they would ship to Eternia, which is the reason he couldn't get what he wanted in the first place.
It makes no sense.
What? But I will say, because of that, Eldor got a really awesome 40th anniversary He-Man 2-pack, the Masterverse 2-pack with the classic He-Man and the first Skeletor with the Articulator.
That is a good 2-pack.
It's a wonderful 2-pack. So, in all means, you definitely made out on that, Eldor. I gotta say, I'd preferred to have gotten that than whatever it was we were originally trying to order. But it was still BS, because he couldn't order it because they wouldn't ship it to him. So instead, they
shipped him something else.
Yeah, they ship him something else.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for them. It's too bad. It really is too bad. And and if there's something,
too bad.
if
San Diego Comic-Con
too
exclusive.
bad.
What the crap is up with that?
Hey, if they post that online to order, I'm going to order it.
Look, I will say this about that too bad. Because the way it's sold, being like that 2-pack with the mix and match parts to build the figure, that makes more sense to me as it being a San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, that's what I would believe that. I believe that too. Yeah.
Right. Like that makes sense. When they first announced it, I didn't realize it was going to be that multi-pack kind of thing. And I was like, why the hell is Too Bad a Comic-Con exclusive? And then I saw the pack and I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm on board for this.
Because they could still make the original one just by itself as a standalone
as a retail
figure.
And that makes perfect sense to me. Get that guy out there for the fans. I love Too Bad, and oh my god, do I want that freaking pack.
I want them to give the 2-pack a round back, and the single pack that you find
single release to be the
flat back.
I'd be down for that too. I hope
that would make me want to buy both. Because then I could have them standing next. Because I have a flat back and a 2-pack, a flat back and a round back. Too Bad. Say that 3 times fast. I want to stand the new versions of them next to them.
That would be great. That would be great. I like the fact that we're getting the chance to have Tuvar and Badra as well as a combined Too Bad. I think that's really cool. I'm excited for that.
But I will say that my passion for being online and waiting for that thing to drop, it's not there. If I check in a day and it's still there, I might consider ordering it. But these items, I don't know, they're just not. It's just not quite grabbing me right now, and that just could be because
fatigue, collector fatigue.
And I don't know if it's fatigue or if it's oversaturation with something great. Like if you have too much cake at a party, you're not going to feel good. But the first slice is going to be amazing, and you're going to look at it, and it's going to be amazing that you're looking at it, that giant cake, and you're going to be excited. Your friends are all getting it too, but then you eat, you eat the whole cake by yourself. You're not going to feel very good.
What is too much cake?
I'm almost there. Like, what is too much? What is too much of anything? That we've got limits. There are limits.
Well, space danger is definitively a thing, which is how I've gotten myself in the situation I'm in now, having to.
I think it's just a loss of joy when you get something new.
Right.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not getting joy from it, then
that's when you got to.
If it's just causing you pain, like
right.
Yeah.
Look at
sometimes
what you
if
have
you just slow it down, the frequency.
Yeah, slow it down.
And that was
exactly.
That was definitely the idea for me. Was I was going to back off of it. Like I wasn't, Rock On came out and everybody's all like, "Oh, I want to get one. I want to get one." And like me, I was just like, "Yeah, it's cool." Like if I get one, great. I'm not crazy. Mind you, as a kid, I loved Rock On and Stone Dar. I thought they were great. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, I'm okay if I miss this one. Cyclone's coming up, and I'll be a bit more excited about that one because he is a figure that I really wanted for this collection. There's a handful that I still really want, and I'm excited to see. I'm really hoping we get a Blade. I need Spikor. He was one of the ones I wanted when they started this line.
Yeah.
So I'm like glad that he's out. I wanted to get the Junkyard Dog from the Masters of the WWE Universe just because he had the jacket.
I just kept missing out on him when he was regular price, and
I couldn't find him in stores.
I could never find him in stores, and it was like I kind of just gave up.
And see, Cobb here, like I didn't even ask him to give me one, but he got extra, and he asked me. He goes, "Did you want one?" I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I will take one because you got one." So I appreciate that, and I will take one because I would like to have it in the collection, but I wasn't stressed to get one is the point that I'm trying to make there. Like other ones like Lady Slither, I was like, oh my God, am I going to be able to get it? Fangor, I was like, oh my God, am I going to be able to get it? Because I love my snakes. And that's kind of why I'm in the situation I'm in. Like I feel stressed about Terror and Lord Grasp. These are figures that we've never had in the original line, but they're Snake Men I want to see. I love the work that Axel's done, and he's, the guy who created these Snake Men. So it's like, I feel like also getting these, I'm supporting an artist who I really love, whose, work is coming to life in the vintage style, which is something that's really cool too to see.
I just gobbling up images. Speaking of artwork, gobbling up the images of Raul Barrero's Snake Mountain for Mondo diorama. Oh my God. I just, that's
where did
just
that
amazing.
come from? Like out of nowhere.
Well, I've been watching, I follow him and his sister on Instagram, and they'll post things every once in a while that are like, I'm like, oh, what? I know that. I know what's going on. So they're really great watching if you watch their Instagrams, they're making great stuff all the time. But man, that Snake Mountain, I just, I think that what I love about it is it's Raul's. It's like, right. I feel like it's uniquely his. He's taken cues from Mondo, but it's like, it's specifically his. You make like Eldor's Eternia Land is his. It's like you can see it. I refer to it as the hand. You can see the hand in the sculpture of that Snake Mountain. It's distinctly Raul's. Like you can see you see a Picasso or something, and it's, you can tell it's Picasso. You can see the hand in it. But man, I can't stop looking at those pictures.
Right.
It's just I get as a person who makes similar things, nowhere near that amazing, but as a person who makes stuff, like I feel like there's when I see somebody doing something like that, of that quality, for an IP that is just silly in a lot of people's eyes, and create this like massively beautiful thing from it. That just gives me hope for the universe.
Yeah, it does. It is an outstanding look. I like seeing the art. And honestly, like when I first started seeing the pictures of it, I wasn't sure quite what it was. And then it was like I realized those are Mondo toys on it in scale. And I was just kind of blown away. And I was, because I'd even joked about Skelly's got a new scale of Snake Mountain to make. And then it was like those pictures came out like the next week. And I was like, oh, this is what a Mondo Snake Mountain would. Never mind. Skelly don't have room for that.
No. Oh my God.
As big as you make them. You need to build it on your roof and have the tall ladder to get up there.
It's something that would have to go in your garage. I mean, it's just, there's nowhere else to put something like that.
I've been putting it out in the yard for Connor to play on.
Yeah.
It's a place at that point. Like
making something like that can be outside would be amazing too. I've been thinking about that.
That would be epic. You're gonna build like a little garden around the Snake Mountain in the future, Skelly? That'd be cool.
I would love to
plaster the whole thing up.
I'd love to work with I watched the videos of the old films that document the making of the original Disneyland, and those first rides, and the way that they would build those. They still use that technique now. You build a scaffolding of rebar, and then you spray it with concrete, and you sculpt out the rocks. And I just keep thinking about that, man. If budget was no issue for me, I'd be making stuff like that. As long as the yard was big enough that my wife wouldn't have to see it, then I'd have permission to do it, But yeah, that Snake Mountain's it just makes me real happy.
I agree. Well, I want to bring this up here. Kenzo's got his Mondo Disco Skelly.
Hey, all right.
Yes. You got to show him off at the rave at the clubhouse this weekend.
He is such a raver. Disco Skelly is such a raver.
Such a raver.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm sure he'll be posting pictures on Instagram if he hasn't already. Well, now that we are coming close to the end at 2 hours and 30 minutes, what do we say at the end now that we're not saying what do we got going on in the future?
Goodbye. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching.
I totally know what we say.